Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but stuff has been going on, so I've been kind of busy. But today I'm back. I'm posting a video about making a small server. I've gotten the opportunity to create a server and put it in another location, which means that I would benefit from 2 locations at once, which would be nice. Many of the parts from the server is brand new, so I don't recommend doing this, and I will probably not make my money back, but I'm doing it because it's a hobby, not because I attempt to get rich or make money off it. It's just fun for me. So I'm gonna build the setup, and hopefully there's gonna be another 2 videos, one about installing Storj and one about installing the full license for the SCP, which I have now got my hands on. So I will be showing both of those in separate videos. So if it's something for you, maybe consider subscribing. But yeah, let's get building. Alright, so looking at the components here, the server will consist of 2 hard drives, one for Storj and one for SCP. There are currently only 2 terabytes, but that is because my plan is to move them. So whenever this gets filled up or this gets full, I will then get myself a bigger hard drive. But right now I had these laying around, so I figured why not use them just to keep my costs to a minimum. Of course I have some thermal paste, MX4, the best one in my opinion. Then we have the Be Quiet 400 watt, which is gold, so I will have some efficiency, saving on power. I have a single fan for keeping everything cold. This is a high pressure Corsair, it's really effective, so that should be sufficient. I got, of course, the CPU cooler. Then I have this for later use, that when I want to add more drives, I can simply zip tie this into the case. I know it sounds janky, but it actually works just fine if you do it right. So that will make 3 more slots for hard drives. Then I have the OS drive, that will just be a 120 gig Kingston SSD. Of course, I have some SATA cables. I have a motherboard here, which is a Micro ATX Server board. It will work great. It's brand new, but it's bought like as a demo model. So someone bought it from the store, returned it, and I got it cheaper. So that's nice. Then we got a single stick of Aegis DDR4 G-Skill, 16 gigabyte RAM. The reason I went for 16 gigabyte on a single stick is because if I ever need to go 32 gigabytes, I can just buy another stick and plug it in, since this motherboard only has 2 slots for RAM. So that's a good upgrade path. And for the CPU, I had this laying around. It's an i5 9600K, which will be good. I will try to do some power management in the BIOS of the motherboard to reduce power usage. I will not underclock, but I definitely will try to make some settings work. For the case, I have bought a really cheap Micro ATX case, Gembird 4NAX K300. It's really cheap. From stock, it will fit 3 of these kinds of hard drives. This will just be, the SSD will just lay somewhere else, I guess. But with this modification right there, I can have 6 hard drives in this one case. So it is a good upgrade path, and the case was cheap and it's very small. The place where I'm gonna place it is quite small as well. So that should work perfectly. Yes, let's get started. Alright, so looking at this motherboard, we can see that we have 1 CPU fan header and 1 case fan header, and that's it. This is also part of the reason that I've gone with 1 single powerful fan, because then that should be efficient. As you can see, I have 4 SATA cable connectors, which is not a lot, but you can extend it with a slot like this to get further expansion down the road. So this will be just fine for now, and then I can of course expand it later. So I'm just gonna go ahead and install the CPU. Alright, so CPU is installed, as you can see right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put some thermal paste on this CPU, and then I'm gonna install the CPU fan. And then I'm gonna install the RAM, and I'll see you then. Alright, we got the CPU, the cooler, the thermal paste, and the RAM installed, as you can see right here. So I am gonna go ahead and open up this case now, show you the case, and then I'm gonna put this inside of the case. Alright, so here is the case. Super simple, really cheap plastic, but for the money that it cost, I think it actually looks decent. You can have a power supply up here, your motherboard, and then of course you can have a fan right here. There is mounting brackets here for a HDD in the bottom, and then there's a system where you can have an HDD here and up here. So that is the 3 slots that is available for a full-size hard drive. But then I'm gonna be planning, sorry, 1 second. I'm gonna be planning on having this mounted something like this down the road when I need more expansion spaces. It's not gonna be right now, but at some point that could be a solution for additional storage. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna mount the motherboard inside of the case, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so as you can see here, the motherboard has been mounted. We got a good I/O shield and everything is nice and tucked. Can't move that. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and install the power supply right up here. Alright, so the power supply has been unboxed. We got a lot of sleeved cables that we need to fit in this case, but I don't think it will be a problem. We got a big beefy fan. It's just a nice power supply for a good price, and it's gold rated. So we should be more efficient. That's good. Alright, so as you can see, the power supply has been installed, and I can start routing some cables around inside of the case. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Alright, so I've just installed the SSD here in the bracket in the back, which is nice because it won't rattle around in the case, and it's out of the way of the other components inside of the main compartment in here. So yes, I'm gonna give this some power, and I'm gonna start working on these cables right here. Alright, so I have just installed the panel connectors and USB 3.0. Looking at the diagram for the panel connectors, very easy. So that's done. Alright, so I have screwed in the fan and the 2 hard drives up here. And I'm just gonna connect these and this, and then I'm gonna do some cable management, and then we'll have a look. Alright, so the build is complete. All the cables are managed except in here. Of course, it's hard to fit everything in this case. Now I am gonna try to list all the parts in the description down below, but obviously I bought them from a local store here where I live. So maybe you'll not be able to find everything, but I'm gonna try to list it. Here we have the intake fan and the hard drives, and we have the power supply up here pulling air from inside to outside. So this will work as my exhaustion fan, which will be great. I do have some space for additional hard drives later on, and I can probably fit some more. But 2 for now is just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and boot up the PC, install Windows. I'm not gonna show you that, I think you know how. So that is actually it for this video. Stay tuned for the Storj and ScP install guides, multiple videos coming. Otherwise, have a great day. Leave a comment if you have questions, and maybe give it a subscribe or like. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next video.